it's Kristen from Pratt Scraps. I'm doing this a second time because something happened and I lost some of my recording. So I'm doing a picture of myself at my daycare with some of my daycare kids. So I covered up their faces with tape so to protect, I don't know, their anonymity. I can't say that. Their privacy. So yeah, that's why there's tape on my picture. And so here I am just attaching this, I'm using the Carpe Diem line from Simple Stories. So now I just play with all these different embellishments from ephemera from the ephemera pack. And I knew there were more. I'd pulled these out the other day, but I didn't have the paper with me. I'd left it at the daycare house. And I went back to find some more ephemera to add to it because I had this idea of doing the diagonal shape from, line. I watched a video this morning. Who was it? It was Leah from Leah's Scrap and Plan, and she had taken a class by Jen Scow, I believe she said. And in that class, there was a layout. It really doesn't look anything like what I came up with, really. It had two photos towards the bottom and then kind of like a diagonal swoosh of ephemera and things. But I don't think they were all touching. I think they're more spaced out. But anyway, this is loosely based on that video that I watched this morning. You know, whatever. I watch a lot of videos. I follow a lot of people that make scrapbook videos, so I get a lot of ideas from a lot of places. Some are my own head, and some are a lot of other creative heads out there. I end up choosing the star stencil to do some mixed media. Really enjoy doing mixed media. I'm glad I started doing this a few years ago. I like this a lot. And I love this star stencil. It's from Stampin' Up! From, I don't even know, 2 or 3 years ago maybe. But I really do like it. I like that it's, radiates from the corner. I think it less and less. I wish it was 12 by 12. It would make it a little bit easier, but it's not. So here I am just trying to get a few more stars up at the top to give that diagonal direction. So I guess you could say I'm kind of a connoisseur of wipes, and I really like the Huggies brand One and Done for cleaning up in my scrapbook room and cleaning other body parts when you're in my line of work. But yeah, I found some of them to be really fibrous or really dry, or the opposite, really, really wet. So anyway, that's just my opinion. That's what I found that I like. So the stars are fairly subtle in the video, but in real life, well, they're still pretty subtle and they're pretty much covered up. But the ones that are peeking out, I like that. I'm glad that I did it. And this hot pink Heidi Swap color shine that I used literally took forever to dry, and my paper ended up warping, and I was irritated. But so I try to dry the back of it because I heard that sometimes helps to get it nice and flat again. But now that I'm looking at it, it's much flatter, so it's better. But so yeah, and now I rearrange these things over and over again, and until I actually start applying adhesive to the back of these pieces, I don't think, very few of them ended up in the same spot. Similar space, but not in the same spot. Yeah, it's just a bunch of different phrases, and the feathers are there for color, mainly for color. I had this flare that says "You are here." Thought that was appropriate. I'm fortunate that I do not have to do daycare out of my home. I do it. I have a small house in the town closest, the biggest town close to us. It has like, I don't even know, 15,000 people maybe. I don't know, less than 20 I would guess. But the town I actually live in is, I don't even know if we have 500 people that live in this town. So I didn't really think, and we actually live in the woods. We can't see our neighbors because there's trees everywhere. So I didn't really think anybody would be driving their kids all the way back on our dirt road to drop their kids off in the woods for daycare. So, and plus after we 6 months after our oldest was born, our house was done being built, and I really didn't want to bring a whole slew of kids into a newly built house. And kids are very destructive. If those of you that don't know it, they are. Yeah. I tell my girls when they bring a toy from home, I said it's going to daycare to die, because they don't usually make it out in one piece. There's just a lot of different age groups, and some toys are more fussy than others. They are more easily broken than others. You really know a good toy when they can stand the test of time in a daycare. So I'm starting to adhere thing. I have a heck of a time with this camera. I bought this foam tape at the Dollar General. Yeah. It's super sticky. So I thought that's a good thing. But I tell you what, it's super sticky, but it must be after you adhere it, or I don't even know. It moved. It moved on me, and it rolled, and it drove me crazy, and I had to cut it. But it all worked out in the end. The little camera didn't get too bent up in the process. So I was struggling here because I wanted that life to not have any trapped space behind that E and that F. I didn't want any of the background paper to show, so I had to make sure those feathers were in the exact right spot. And I'm just trying to get the diagonal across. I have this little arrow that says really, and I want to put it at the very bottom right hand corner where it says you got this, and then it says really with a question mark. And I have no other dark, that green shade at the top, so I struggle with that a little bit. And then I'm just figuring out my journaling. This little notepad that I had sitting on my desk, the colors matched, the peach color matched well, so I ended up just writing my little journaling blurb there and using it on my layout. I don't know if it's acid-free or lignin-free or any of that, but I guess we'll see. Even if it didn't have journaling, I'm pretty sure this layout tells a story. Peak in my life. I'm actually doing a whole traveler's notebook of me in November. So we'll see. It's hard to be the sole person in the picture every day. And it's only the 5th. So I found some green dots, putting them in there. This is super fast, so I'm running out of time to talk. I'm going to put some black ones on there. Little enamel dots in 3 spots. And there it is, my finished layout. Here are some close-ups. I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe and like my videos. Bye.